Share, like this video, follow me, leave a comment, positive or negative. Put your thoughts on there. If you got another reason, put your thoughts on there. I want to hear it. Alright guys, today I'm making this video because I seen a post on Facebook today, and the post read, "It's time to have a serious conversation about why my age group and the younger demographic have exited the church." That's a good topic, and a lot of people don't want to tackle it or talk about it, but hey, I'm here for it today. Get your tea, get your popcorn, because it's time to talk about why my age group and the younger demographic have exited the church. Now, it's only fair that I start this video by saying I am heavily involved in ministry. I do believe in ministry. There's a purpose for it when it's done right. But today, for the topic of this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons that I hear about why my age group and the younger demographic have exited the church. To be fair, also, I'm going to keep it using my region that I live in, my specific region. I'm in Mississippi right now, so that means that I am in what they call the Bible Belt. And so using that, all that information and the resources that I have gathered, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 reasons that people my age and the younger demographic have exited the church. Number 1, church hurt. Number 1, church hurt. You can't find anybody around this area who has not been hurt in church. Most of the time, people go into the church thinking that everything's going to be honky-dory, everything's going to be peaches and cream, everything going to be smooth. But what they end up finding out is that people in the church still got issues, and people in the church will still cut you. Matter of fact, they'll cut you deeper than somebody out on the streets would, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. A lot of people, especially my age or younger, have experienced being church hurt. Hurt by the fact that they maybe put somebody on a pedestal and thought they were this and that, and they found out that they weren't. Hurt by the fact that maybe they just got started in church and they feel judged, or they feel like they'll never be good enough to reach that certain level that they're trying to get to, and they're always made to feel ashamed of themselves. Hurt by many reasons. Church hurt is one of the biggest reasons that my age group and the age group up under me have exited the church, and you don't hardly see them in the church anymore. So church hurt is the first reason that a lot of people exit the church. Number 2, hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. If you listen to a lot of the younger generation, they are fed up with people who are holier than thou. The reason why is because they feel like they get up in the pulpit and say a lot of things, but when they see their lifestyles, they see a totally different things. I've been that way before. When I was a child, I thought as a child, and you don't understand that this journey in God is a journey. It's exactly what it is. It's a race, and it's not given to the swift. And maybe it's not explained heavily enough by the people who are in position to do this, and this is where the confusion comes in, because a lot of people go to church and they see people saying things, but they don't do them. And the Bible warns us about being not just hearers of the word, but doers of the word. And a lot of people my age and younger grew up going to church, watching people get over the pulpit, shout and fall out and slobber and jump over pews. And when they leave, their life is just as raggedy as before they came in. Hypocrisy, reason number 2. Reason number 3, tithing. Tithing. Feeling like the preacher is getting rich and the members aren't profiting anything from it. Feeling like you're bringing your money to this church, to this ministry, and you see the pastor living good, but some of the members ain't. And you cannot get the concept and the idea of tithing. And this is hard for somebody out here in the streets. But one thing I'll say about this is what people don't understand about ministry. Our youth tithe whether they want to or not. They tithe whether they want to or not into things that are giving them nothing back anyway. But when it comes to church, they feel like giving their money to an unseen entity or not knowing where it's going, they don't want to do that. They tithe to drugs, they tithe to clothes, they tithe to cars, they tithe to women, they tithe to men. They tithe. The state takes their 10% out of your check without even asking. They get their 10%. You tithe to Uncle Sam. But when it comes to church, you felt like you've been robbed so long because you've seen janky preachers. You can't hold everybody to the same standard. Remember that. Every preacher ain't a bad preacher, and every preacher ain't a get-rich preacher trying to take your money. But we're talking about the number 3 reason why my age group and the younger demographic is out the church. It's not explained properly. It's not broke down, the principle and also the order that God said from the beginning. You can't understand tithing through any one particular singular message anyway. The concept of tithing is an order that God set out. It's a seed that God planted from the beginning. And if you can't get tithing is not that God needs your money. Tithing is to help you and to bless you and deliver you from your money. See, the government don't trust you with it, so they take their 10%. But tithing and feeling like the preacher is pimping the congregation and getting rich is reason number 3 why my age group and the younger demographic are exiting the church. Let's move on. Reason number 4, other winds of doctrine. There are so many different new age groups of knowledge and newfound awakeness or being woke that is out there right now that the youth are discombobulated. They don't know what way to turn. Even though they may have grew up Christian, even though they may have grew up with Christian belief in a strong Christian home, it's confusing when that was not a real rooted in them. So now they're following every wind of doctrine. The word also warns us about this. Do not be strayed or turned away by every wind of doctrine. You got to be like a tree planted by the open waters. Now, hold on. You may say, well, how do you do that? This is why you have not been trained the right way. And the Bible warns us this: train up a child in the way they should go, and the ways thereof they shall never depart. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this: it's a difference between raising kids and training them. And most of these kids haven't been trained. My father told me a long time ago, when I was a young guy and I was beginning to stray and go different ways and think about the Illuminati and all these other different things and stuff like that. And he said, listen, I don't even want to hear about something else because I am 100% convinced in my heart on what I believe. He said men should be 100% in their belief. You couldn't go to a Muslim or maybe even a terrorist and try to even give them your wind of doctrine because they are 100% persuaded in their heart. And that's what faith and real belief is. I am not open to any persuasion. I am not open to any perception. And that's okay to be that way in this case, because what you want to do is make up your mind who you are and what you believe in. And I believe in God. So other winds of doctrine is the number 4 reason that we deal with this in 2022, that my age group and the younger demographic are exiting the church. Number 5, and this is one that a lot of people won't admit, it's not an easy one to take, not easy to swallow, but it's the truth: accountability. People don't want to be accountable to a church. Like, it's just like going to school. Some people wasn't built for school, so it was hard for them to get up on a schedule. It was hard for them to go and be organized and things like that. And the church holds you accountable. Like, we want you here on Wednesdays. We want you here on Sundays. We want you here on church functions and church trip. If I say that I don't believe in church or I really don't like the concept of church, it allows me to escape the accountability. So I don't need anybody over me trying to tell me what to do or giving me any structure or giving me any order. And that's why most of our lives are in chaos now. Most of us can't really figure out how to put 2 and 2 together to get 4. It's always coming up 3, because church is actually another way in order for you to stay in line, in order for you to have some accountability. They don't want anybody in their business per se. That's what they're calling it. It's not that they in your business, but it holds you accountable. You have to go and you got to hear the truth all the time, which is constantly permeating your heart, and it's constantly getting on to you about getting right. The Holy Ghost is the most key important thing in everything that I'm talking about today. We'll get to that later. But the number 5 reason that my age group and the younger group below me is accountability. They're exiting the church because they don't want to be held accountable to no standard by nobody. I am my own boss. In the end, God said men will be lovers of themselves, meaning that means I have the truth. I got the way. I got the knowledge. I don't have to listen to anybody else. I know I'm awake. I'm open. All this stuff y'all seeing people say on the internet, I'm woke. I'm woke. That's part of the accountability reason that I'm telling y'all right now. So I'm going to wrap this up by talking about the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost is what? The spirit of truth that the world cannot accept. We're coming closer to the end time where the Antichrist is making himself a way and a path to come into this world. And the way to do that is because his people are scattered abroad and divisive against each other. We don't want to listen to each other. We don't want to fellowship with each other. And we're becoming increasingly more that way as the end times come. There are strength in numbers, and the enemy knows that. So he has to divide us as much as possible. The Holy Ghost is what brings us on one accord. And when that brings us on one accord, the Holy Ghost will not speak of itself. It would only speak of things of the Father. So that's how I know when you get the Holy Ghost, it's not telling you to correct anybody else. The Holy Ghost is always on you about you becoming a better version of yourself. And if you got the Holy Ghost, then you'll always be seeking how to go to your next level. And through that, your light will begin to increasingly shine and everybody around you will be able to see. Y'all be blessed. Top 5 reasons in my age group and the younger demographic are not in church. Share, like this video, follow me, leave a comment, positive or negative. Put your thoughts on there. If you got another reason, put your thoughts on there. I want to hear it.